Hey friends, I wanted to share a quick, easy recipe with you guys. So I have some cheeses in my fridge that I want to use up so they don't go bad. And this is one of my favorite recipes. It's a very easy recipe. If you go out to eat and you like the artichoke spinach dip appetizer, this is what that is. So all I use is, I had this big block of mozzarella cheese. I didn't want to go to waste. So I shredded mozzarella cheese. Then I had a block of Parmigiano Reggiano or whatever. And so I grated some of this, and I did a cup of mozzarella, and then I did a cup of Parmesan. And then I used a whole tub of Tillamook cream cheese. And then I did, I actually used my homemade mayonnaise because this recipe is really good to like use stuff that you need to like use up before it goes bad, you know? So I used my homemade mayonnaise. Let me see if I can find the jar in here real quick. My homemade mayonnaise. So I used like 3 spoons. I don't know, I didn't measure. I just used like one of those plastic spoons. One of these throwaway. I just did like 3 of these little throwaway, boom, boom, 3 of these. And then I put salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. And then these are the artichokes that I like to use. They have like a really good tangy flavor to them. And when you take them out, just kind of like, I let them sit on my my chopping board right there for a little bit, just to kind of let the juices kind of dry off of them. And then I chop them up, and then I take a pound or like a whole bag of spinach. This was a whole pound of spinach, and I put it in a skillet and let it like cook down. And then when it cooks down, you want to wrap this in a paper towel and squeeze it, because you don't want none of that moisture in your artichoke dip, because it'll separate. And you put all that in a bowl, and you'll get a mixture like this. And you just sometimes you gotta let it sit out. If your cream cheese is at room temperature, let it sit out, the mixture, until you can like mix it. And you want it to look like, you know, where you can like press it against itself like that. And you want to make sure all the ingredients are mixed in. Then you take your spinach. Let me move this a little bit. There you go. Then you take your spinach and you just put your spinach in there. My husband really likes this recipe. I love this recipe. I actually got this recipe from Magnolia, what's her name? Joanna Gaines. She did this recipe on her series. I don't know if you've seen that. And then, you know, you're just gonna mix it around, get all the spinach in there incorporated to the whole, you know, make it look evenly distributed in your mix. This is such an easy recipe, guys. And sometimes I make chicken breast and I put this, like stuff some chicken breast with it and bake it. You know, like cut the chicken breast, like, or my husband just likes this, like, to have, you know, like as a nice little treat. And today we're just chilling. We're gonna grill some more ribeyes, some thin sliced ribeye on the grill. He's got some wings he's marinating, and we are just chilling out today. We did go stock up on some supplies, guys, like I said yesterday, on some water and some groceries and stuff, just in case. You know, I am hoping that the storm goes out to sea and nobody is affected. I haven't even seen the damage that it's done to our friends down there in Puerto Rico, or, you know, in that area. But I am hoping and praying that everybody stays safe and is, you know, yeah, just being safe. And then I'm gonna put this in a baking glass container. So this is gonna be a perfect time for me to use my Members Mark storage glass containers. These guys are so cool. I've bought 3 sets of these before, but you know, it's been like almost 10 years now. So I bought a new set because I've lost some of the lids, or some of the other containers have broke. But this set here is so faithful. I buy it at Sam's Club, and it is like all the things. It's like dishwasher safe, fridge, freezer safe, oven safe up to 450, microwave safe. So what I would suggest is bake, because we have to bake this. We're gonna put it in the oven. So bake it in a glass Tupperware that if you have the lid for it, you know, so that when it cools down, you could just put it in the refrigerator when you're done with it. So let me find one that's big enough. Let me see. I think that one's gonna work. So I'm gonna use this one. Let me wash it out and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my container all ready, but first, guys, let me put the sheath on my knife, because I don't know if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, but if you haven't, please join my YouTube family, where I have daily vlogs and just mine and RJ's journey of growing old together. You guys can hang out with us. We do grocery hauls. We do everyday life. That's what it's called. Iris and or Everyday Life with Iris and RJ. And the you can find it if you search at Iris Baldwin 128, and you can find me there. But I actually stabbed my foot with this knife. I was actually here on the counter working, and I had the knife like this, and like a lot of us do, I was wearing my chanclas, my sandals, flip-flops in the kitchen, and it was under a kitchen towel like this. And I went to grab that kitchen towel, and the knife fell off the counter and stabbed my foot, and I cut it really bad. So if your knives have sheaths, take the time to put the sheath on it, even if it's just sitting on the counter. Every time I watch a cooking video or somebody's vlog and they're cooking and the knife is on the counter and they're reaching and doing all this stuff, I'm constantly thinking about, like, oh my goodness, like, put that knife somewhere safe. Anyway, so I cleaned out my dish, and all I'm gonna do is put this in this oven safe dish. So I'm just gonna slap it in there. There's no fancy way to put it in there. And this is so delicious, guys. It does come out of the oven. You have to bake it because all those cheeses in there, they need to melt and like come together. You know, the mozzarella, the Parmesan, all of it, because it is fresh Parmesan, it needs to melt. And once it does, it comes together and creates like this beautiful top layer. And what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna top this with a little bit of more mozzarella and Parmesan, just so it'll get like a crust on top. But just push it down all the way to where you just flatten it out, just like that. Get all this off the spoon. Okay. All right, guys, so I already shredded this up. I'm gonna just top it, and what it's gonna do is gonna create like a nice crust on the top. Like that. And then I'm gonna just put some paprika just to make it look, you know, that nice golden color. And then let's bake it, and I'll show you guys as soon as it comes out of the oven. All right, friends, it's out of the oven, but it is super hot right now. I'm gonna let it cool down before we take our little sample bite, okay? But that's what it looks like out of the oven. Okay, it's still really hot, but I wanted to show you how it comes out of the tin. Just like that. Super ooey gooey delicious. And we're just gonna have it with some Simply Ruffles. I'm so happy that companies are starting to like pay attention to customers, that we don't want all kinds of gross stuff and chemicals in our food. These Simply Ruffles only have potatoes, sunflower oil, and sea salt. But so that's what it looks like, guys. It's so delicious, just like the restaurant style. Look at that. Oh, ooey gooey delicious.